Good morning, Sprinkled Donut. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us this morning. Give a couple more minutes, well, 3, for people to get their notifications and log in. Kitiku. Good morning, Callie Lisa. Good morning to both of you. Welcome to this morning's Page 2 News. I hope we had a wonderful week. It is cold outside. As they say, weather outside is frightful. Absolutely delightful. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is cold. It is 30 degrees outside right now where I am. 30 degrees. Slick too. Morning dew. Froze. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you want to drink this morning. 2 more minutes and we'll get it good going here. Ooh, it's 36 where Kitty Q is. Is that abnormally cold? 36 for this time of year, or is it warm? Yeah, I guess it got down to 22 degrees here last night, but it's warming up. No, it's normal. Yeah, this is the month of December and January are by far the coldest months of the year where I live. By far. Daytime high today probably 35, but lows at night are normally drop down into the teens. There's nothing to hold the heat in. And there's some giant weather pattern off the coast. It could possibly, I think it's only like a 10% chance, but it could bring us snow tomorrow. But we shall see. I actually got the notification today. I usually always remember though. I start work at 8 a.m. and come in and get on YouTube immediately. There you go. All right. Well, we're gonna get this going. Thank you everybody for joining me this morning. Glad you could be here with us. This is the 235th episode of Page 2 News. Highlights true crime stories that are often overlooked or underreported by mainstream media. These cases, while lacking sensational headlines, carry significant importance and profound impact within their communities. Each story featured on Page 2 News is supported by at least 3 verified sources, ensuring the most accuracy and reliable information. Thank you for joining us and enjoy today's edition of Page 2 News. First one is Cesar Hernandez. The manhunt still goes on for this convicted killer. But I want to make absolutely sure that I'm clear versus last week's show where I highlighted this first off the bat. That update on this case, just because the U.S. Marshal's Office releases a wanted poster saying an escaped violent criminal is on the loose and is wanted dead or alive, does not give citizens the right to hunt him down and commit murder. I saw that in the comment section. Wow, wanted dead or alive? I get the right to kill someone who's wanted? No, no, I don't know if those people were just being, sarcastic or facetious or whatever. But Jesus, no, you don't have the right to kill someone just because their wanted poster says wanted dead or alive. But after 7+ days on the run, Cesar Hernandez has yet to be caught. Law enforcement believes he is still most likely in California. However, he could have been smuggled into Mexico. Right now, they're not sure where he is, but they have leads that they're following up on, and they're not giving too many details on where they think he is. Law enforcement wants everyone to understand that Cesar Hernandez is a violent criminal who will not just go peacefully. His sentence is longer than he could ever live. So basically, a life sentence. He has connections to the MS-13 gang and other violent street gangs. He is considered to be armed and dangerous and should not be approached if spotted. If you do spot him from any of the posters or newscasts or anything else where you may see a picture of him, do not approach him. Call 911 or your local law enforcement. Next, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Wow, how the times have changed in the last couple of weeks. Breaking silence again. That didn't take long. 3 weeks ago, she shut down all of her social media, saying she was just wanted to live in peaceful life. This past week, she did not one, but 3 interviews. 2 of those were with People magazine. The other was with an AP News writer, Jasmine Rubenstein. What did she talk about? How much she disliked sex with her ex-husband, how much prison was awful and her cellmate was terrible. And it goes on from there because she reportedly has 2 more interviews coming up, one with Time Magazine and one with Fox News. I do believe that the Fox News affiliate she has the interview set with is Fox Channel 11. I don't know why that one out of all Fox affiliates, but that's the one I believe she has set up the interview with because she has spoken with them directly in the past. I myself don't buy her story that anymore about her wanting to be left alone. She said she wanted to live in peace and she didn't want anybody to bother her and she just wanted to live a normal life. And what did it take? Not even 3 weeks, for her to reactivate all of her social media and start doing interviews all over again. And I was asked, when I was talking about this on another stream in the comment section the other night on Friday, uh, is she being paid for the interviews that she is doing? And the answer to that is yes and no. Some of them she is being paid to give an exclusive story to only, and others she is just talking out because she wants to stay in the public spotlight. So it's a there's no yes or only no. It's a little bit of both. But she's back. It took her less than 3 weeks again to want to get back in the public eye. Ho, ho, ho. Man gets hopelessly stuck in chimney. And no, it's not even a Florida man story. Tip of the day for everyone out there when you're hiding from the police, don't climb into a chimney. The more you know. Do, 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 do. The more you know, don't climb into a chimney. Robert Leganis, though he has thought he had a perfect hiding spot, they will never look for me here, he thought. Then he realized the chimney was too slick to climb back out. And the more he moved, the more he got stuck. Eventually, he had to scream for help, and luckily, the police were right outside. And the bottom picture there with the arrow, that is how far down he had slid into this chimney. and was unable to go down all the way, nor was he able to get up out of the chimney. He was stuck there, wedged in where basically where the flute in the chimney is. Robert wasn't even bringing gifts, for anyone either, and that really sucks. He was arrested for eluding police, possession of drugs and drug paraphernalia, and an outstanding warrant. Robert will now spend the Christmas holiday behind bars where he can spread his holiday cheer there. He has been given on two of the charges. The outstanding warrant is for failure to comply with probation parole, is what it says on the actual booking information. And that is a no bail warrant. So he will be there until after the New Year and Christmas before he gets back into court. Tentatively, they have him scheduled to appear in court on the 3rd, just after the New Year. So happy Christmas and happy New Year, Robert. You're going to be spending it in jail. The other one that has a no bail option is his 4th conviction for possession of illegal drugs. It does not say if it was meth or weed or whatever. It just says possession of illegal drugs. So, he had paraphernalia on him, so that could be a pipe, it could be, a straw. I don't know, but it just says paraphernalia as well. But happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you, Robert. Enjoy your time behind bars. Alex Murdaugh. Yes, the parasite will not go away. First round of appeals have been officially filed. In filing, his attorneys say that he didn't receive a fair trial because of the bias of the clerk in prejudicial evidence that never should have been allowed in the case. This is the grounds that they are filing his first appeal under. And they are not only just filing the appeal of the sentence, but the entire conviction as well. The total appeal that they filed is 132 pages in length, with 3 signature pages and 1 cover page. So if you add the cover page and the signature pages, you're over 135 pages in total length. In the appeal, the attorney did write, the public needs justice, not just social justice. And it remains to be seen just when this appeal will be heard or ruled on. Alex is still in protective custody. He will eventually be moved to a housing unit filled with people just like him, but right now he is in a protective housing unit with only 6 other inmates. But he will eventually be moved to another location with other people that are just like him. But he's still sitting there while they work through all the rest of his intake and everything else. Now that's the last update as of the 1st of December. He could have been moved into another housing unit by then, but at the last update was on December 1st that he was still in the protective custody with 6 other inmates. 11,200,000 people covered the story of, the Mario brother, Luigi, and his murder of CEO Brian Thompson. But only 116,931 stories, according to groundnews.com, covered anything about the 3 children that Brian Thompson leaves behind after he was murdered by Luigi. Only 116,000 compared to 11 million. If you pull up anything, News Weekly or crime in the news or whatever you Google, you're going to be inundated with stories over this CEO who was murdered and the capture of this individual. Over any story you will find about the three children he leaves behind. That's the media that you get out there, ladies and gentlemen. Did you want to know that Luigi ate at McDonald's, or that he stayed at two different hostels in the New York area, and ate a candy bar and had a bottle of water from Starbucks? Yeah. In case you're wondering, the Starbucks candy bar and the bottle of water was covered 29,311 times. That's what, almost 24,000 times that they covered that over, spent any attention on, the family that Brian Thompson, the victim of this entire situation, leaves behind. That's what the media does. That's what sells. Right now, we want to do this manhunt for this individual who killed the CEO of a health, company. Yeah. All right. Entertainment news. Stories that about music, TV, and movies from the land of glitter and glamour, and oops moments that the stars wish could be buried. Woody Allen and his wife, Soon Ying, are up first, are being sued by their former personal chef that Woody Allen himself hired and fired. The former chef says he was fired because he is in the Army Reserve and they didn't pay him. The Allens say they fired him because of his poor work performance and they didn't like the food he cooked. But there's more to the story that's most likely supporting the Allens' defense, because Su Yi had posted more than a dozen times about how much this individual was late, didn't clean up their facility, their kitchen properly, and had given and made them poor meals that were not balanced to the dietary specifications that they had asked for. But the complaint goes on, back and forth. It's like he said, she said kind of thing at this point. But Woody Allen and his wife, Su Ying. Next is country music star Morgan Wallen. Must serve 7 days in a DUI education center and do 2 years of probation, plus pay a $350 fine for the two misdemeanors, the charges that he pled to, for throwing a chair off the rooftop bar. I believe this was in Tennessee that this happened. He was under the influence of alcohol and threw a chair off of the roof. It didn't hit anybody. There wasn't any property damage other than the stupid chair. But he has to spend this is his actual sentence. Is he has to spend 7 days in a DUI education center and do 2 years of probation plus pay the $350 fine. That does not count his attorney. I have no idea what his attorney costs would be in this, but the total restitution is $350 that he must pay. And that is half of that $350 goes to Crime Victims Compensation Fund. But Morgan Wallen, it seems like bad news just keeps on tracking him. I like Morgan's music, but damn, boy, you got to start, going the right way. You don't have to be the bad boy of country. Next, serial killer corner. News from around the world regarding the investigations into serial killings. First up is Warren Leslie Forrest. He was convicted of murder, 2 counts of murder, kidnapping, and I know that's an L instead of an I in the kidnapping, but it's supposed to be kidnapping. He was also convicted of rape and 2 counts of attempted murder in the 2nd degree, along with theft. He is now considered the prime suspect in the murder of at least 6 more victims from the Vancouver, Washington area and a possible 5 more from the Portland, Oregon area. The ones that they want the law enforcement in both Washington and Oregon, along with the FBI, are investigating are the following cases out of Clark County from 1971 through 1974. In 1971, the disappearance of 16-year-old Jamie Grissom. 1972, the murder of Barbara Ann Dury. 1974, the disappearance of 14-year-old Diana Gilchrist. 1974, murder of 19-year-old Gloria Nading Knutson. 1975, for kidnapping a 15-year-old Norma Jean Countryman. 1974, murder of 20-year-old Christina Blake or Krista Blake. But these are the ones that they believe Forrest is responsible for. The ones from the state of Oregon, out of the Portland area, the FBI or the law enforcement out of the state of Oregon are releasing the names of the cases that they believe that he may be connected to. In the cases from Vancouver and from the ones from Oregon, Portland, Oregon area, they believe that there is someone else that Forrest may have been in communication with. They do not believe that this person killed with him or kidnapped or did any of these other crimes with, but they believe that there is another individual out there that he may have confided in about his ongoing crimes at that time. Again, these ones are from 1971 through 1974. Go back so you can take another look at that is what it looks like currently. That is his actual photograph from prison for his prison ID. That is what it looked like in the actual trial itself when he was convicted of the 2 counts of murder, rape, robbery, and 2 counts of attempted theft, attempted murder, and the kidnapping charge. All right. Fake or real? Can you uncover the real news story? It's harder than you might think. I'll present you a selection of stories, but only one is true. Your challenge is to identify which one is real. Again, you do not have to tell me in the world which ones are fake, just which one is real. It'll either be story number 1, story number 2, or story number 3. You can either put story 1 or number 1 or S1 or S2 or S3 or whichever. But identify something in the comment section which one you believe is real. Story number 1. The FBI sent out its annual Christmas cards this past week, mailing Christmas cards to 39,881 federal employees and 17,210 wanted felons, asking them to please turn themselves in to start off the new year the right way. Is this the real story? Did the FBI mail out their annual Christmas cards to federal employees along with wanted felons? Story number 1. Is this one real or is this one fake? Story number 2. The Electronic and Cyber Intelligence Agency in the UK mailed out their annual Christmas cards. Their cards are a riddle wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a mystery. These cards are sent out to the top students across the country from the ages of 11 to 18. They are seeking code breakers and those who can think outside the box. Did the UK Electronic and Cyber Intelligence Agency mail out their annual Christmas cards? Is this the real story or is this one fake? All right, story number 3. The Canadian government mailed out their annual Christmas cards. This year, they are maple syrup themed. They have a puzzle to solve, and if you solve the geocache puzzle, it will lead you to a free bottle of syrup and a free Horton's coffee shop gift card for $10. In past years, only about 200 of the 18,000 Christmas card puzzles have been solved. Which one of these three stories is real? Is it story number one, story number two, or story number three? I will give you a couple of minutes to think about which one is real. The FBI mailed out their annual Christmas cards to federal employees and wanted felons. Story number two, the Electronic and Cybersecurity Agency in the UK mailed out their annual postcards to 11 to 18-year-old kids. Or, as you see on your screen there, story number three, the Canadian government mailed out theirs, but theirs are maple syrup, themed, and they will lead you to a free bottle of maple syrup and a Horton's gift card. One of them is real. The other two are fake. Which one is real? All right. The real story of these three is story number two. Story number two, where the Electronic and Cybersecurity Agency in the UK mailed out their annual Christmas cards to 11 to 18-year-old kids. Each card is a puzzle and wrapped in an enigma with a mystery, and they have to solve it. Less than 1% of all of the cards that they have mailed out over the past 20 years or whatever it's been since they've been doing it. I don't know how many years, but I know this is like just another year that they do this. But they have gotten less than 1% return on all of them that have been solved correctly. In case you're wondering, we'll go back here. Story number one about the FBI mailing out the Christmas cards to 39,881 federal employees and 17,210. This story was shared on social media. I could not find it in actual in reference to it at all on a mainstream media site. So congratulations to mainstream media. But on social media, on Facebook, and there were people who made TikTok videos about it. 218,301 times in the last 30 days, this story has been shared. FBI, 218,301 times that story was shared. Story number three about the Canadian government mailing out Christmas cards that are maple syrup themed. And, if you solve the geocache puzzle, you've got a free bottle of maple syrup and a $10 Horton's gift card. This story was shared out 361,119 times. The real story, again, story number two, the Electronic Cybersecurity Intelligence Agency, this one, the real story, over 1 million times, and was actually shared on mainstream media in the United States, Canada, and in the UK. Again, this is something that they've done for multiple years. I don't know how long. Heck, it could be 20 years. I don't know. But they've been doing this every single year. And these postcards and Christmas cards go out to across the country to 11 to 18-year-old students, the top of the top. Students, those who at the top of their school and whatever. It could be mathematics. It could be all the way across the board. But again, story number two. But although the Christmas cards have been sent out over the years, the FBI has never sent criminals a Christmas card asking them to turn themselves in. Nor has the Canadian government sent out maple syrup Christmas cards with geocache items to be found. There have been things that the FBI and local law enforcement have done in the past that is similar to this. And that's why a lot of people share these stories because they're close to actual reality, in that law enforcement agencies have sent out fake tickets to sporting events or tickets that said that if you show up here, you can win a free TV, as a way to get these criminals to come in, register, and then sit in a ballroom, and then the police come storming in from all sides once they get people there. They either believe they want a trip or they can win a trip or they want a TV or they can win a TV, and these people show up and then they nab up all these people who have, warrants for their arrest. So that has actually happened in the past, but they've never mailed out postcards, saying, hey, there's a geocache here or, you know, any of that other stuff. But that's why people share these things out because it sounds like something, law enforcement would do this because they have done stuff similar to it. All right. These are the links to all the stories that I shared this week. If you're watching this in rewind, if you are now, if you want to click on the stories, and the last one there is the fake. That's from the Associated Press link for the UK. If you want to read about the Christmas puzzle card, sources that without links for people who helped this past week with the story are there on the screen. Rebecca and James are the only two that helped me this past week. Tomorrow night's trivia is on Suzanne Morphew. And I know the word Morphew is spelled wrong there. I forgot the P, but I have corrected that. If you look at the actual stream key that it's on the community center, I have corrected it. I did add the P back in, but yes, I did originally forget the P in the last name of Morphew. Don't leave something good for something you think is better. Because once you realize you've had the best is already found better. The chat is still open. If you have questions, ask them. And good morning to anyone that I've missed. Rykart, good morning. Gemma, good morning. Inner Peas, good morning. You're listening and driving. God bless you all. You drive safe out there, Rykart. Kelly Lisa says at least Morgan Wallen didn't throw a human off of the top of the roof. Yeah, this is actually a pretty nice bar and it's well known place there. I want to say it was in Tennessee, in like Nashville, Tennessee, or something, but I'm not entirely sure where the. I know where his conviction was, but I'm not sure if the bar is actually in the city itself. But it's well known in a restaurant and bar where they have a lounge inside and then they have a rooftop bar and then they have like a railing. He threw the chair up and over the railing out into the street. And of course TMZ, because they're good for something. They've got the whole thing, I guess. The arrest and all of it, because that's what they do. I can't play the video of it because I don't own the rights to it. And a lot of people who I like to play within the rules as much as possible. Yeah, I may bend a rule here or there, skate across them, but there are a lot of people who think, yeah, it's a video. It's on TMZ's website. I'll just copy it from them and then I'll share it out. and because it's in the free domain. That's not how it works. If you find it in the free domain, like on a news site, and they have paid or they have gotten approval, then they rebroadcast it. That then becomes free domain. But you can't go to someone's website, steal something from it, and then rebroadcast it yourself. That's not how the first use, laws work. But people do it anyways. This is the internet. It's the wild, wild west, isn't it? Justice for Suzanne. Gemma says, I will be recording a new video shortly about the UK former prime minister who is now claiming he is autistic. I think not. I smell a rat here. I'm working on a video about Richard Allen. That's coming up probably this. I'm hoping I get it done by Monday. I've already shot it, and I just have to edit it, and then put credits in there because I had somebody else help me with the information for it. But that's coming up probably Monday or Tuesday. Cross fingers that I get it done. All depends on if I find time, get the time this weekend to edit. It's the holiday season, and I gotta do a lot of things besides this. Today, I get to take my mother Christmas shopping so she can finish up her Christmas shopping, which is going to be fun. I'm sick of local celebrities claiming they are autistic to get away with things. It makes you so angry. Well, I can understand that as well. It would make me angry as well. But at the same time, though, as they do it, I mean, at least it brings just a little bit of awareness to it. It's not keep it hidden in the closet, but it does water down the who people are. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but Francis, so sorry to be late. You're more on time than those who are not here. So there's that, Francie. But good morning. Glad you could be here with us, though. Gorgeous setting. Yeah, it's a backdrop. I'm working on cleaning this place, moving things around, making it a little bit more functional for what I do and what videos I shoot. You know, trying to get it ready for after the new year. Don't need the same backdrops. It's like they say, if you're not willing to change, you're not willing to grow. So understanding the awareness of it. True. I call out a TV chef yesterday for using autism as a way to get away with alleged sexual behavior. Wow, that's that's not right at all. If you're blaming actual crimes on it, now I don't. I'd get pissed about that. But people will find all kinds of excuses for their behaviors. Sorry, scrolling up here, I was reading some of the comments that people left while I was doing teen boy that sprinkled donut, teen boy that got stuck in a chimney. I read a story about one that got stuck in a chimney and actually died, and they didn't find him until I don't know, a couple of years later. And I missed you earlier, Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. I'm glad you could be here with us, Kevin. Lexi, good morning. Welcome to this morning's page 2 news recap. Will, you gonna cook Christmas dinner? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Francie. The Christmas dinner right now, we're looking at about probably 8 less than we had for Thanksgiving, but pretty much the same group. Those who, the reason why it's 8 less is not because they're not invited, it's that they have things that they're doing with their families. So they don't need someplace or, necessarily to go, here. But yeah, well, I'm doing this. We're doing ham roast instead of turkey for Christmas dinner. And then most of the meal is more a southern like twist to it, I guess. Instead of like green bean casserole, kind of like this, you know, mix of everything. Like this is more southern because well, there's no real reason why. It's not like we have family that's here from this the south, but we're doing it. It's gonna have like collard greens, southern potatoes, mac and cheese, and then there's like the deviled eggs and stuff like that. But the ham is a smoked country Virginia ham. We'll do that. Well, two of them, two smoked country Virginia hams. But it's more themed towards the food of the South than it is here. But yeah, we planned on it. We started buying all the stuff, Francie. I don't know, beginning of the year. I have a pantry. That one shelf is just for the stuff that we use for Thanksgiving, and then one below it in the pantry shelf. That's all the food that we pre-buy, throughout the year for the Christmas. I still have to pick up quite a bit of stuff, but I'll get those later on. We are having beef and chicken dinner for Christmas. Ooh, that sounds good too. Yum yum. Yum yum, get you some. Hey, good news. It's now 31 degrees here. Uh-huh. 31. Damn heat wave. You have prime rib every Christmas? Ooh, that sounds good. I haven't had prime rib in a while. I make a lot of sirloin steaks, but I haven't had any prime rib itself in a while. I don't know why. Just never buy them. I never go out to eat, to have it. And when I do go out to eat, it's usually someplace where I wouldn't associate that they would have prime rib. I will be recording a video showing you a British Christmas. All right. I hope you do. You've been asked to? That'd be cool. I was looking at the demographics for the people who are subscribed to my channel. Um, from the UK. All right, so first off, 68.4% of all viewers of my content are from America. 3.6% are from Canada. 2.7 are from the United Kingdom, and then other countries make up all the rest, with South Africa bringing up the rear at 0.3%, not even a whole percentage. Well, happy birthday to you. I mean, happy holidays. I don't know why I said birthday. Happy holidays, Lexi, to you and your family as well. I wonder how much, it probably differs, a lot, the UK versus here for Christmas. Um, for Christmas, though, a vast majority of the people who are coming for Christmas dinner, they go to mass, and then they come here. So we actually have dinner later than we did for Thanksgiving. I'd say good 90% of my family are practicing, Catholics. So nothing wrong with other religions. It's just that's what they practice. There are a couple that practice other religions, but hey, are you doing a show next Saturday morning? Yes, I am, Callie Lisa. Next Saturday and next Sunday. Trivia on Sunday, and coffee brew, page 2 news on Saturday. Juicy Jules, good morning. Welcome to this morning's page 2 news. Watch Gemma's show on Us a British Christmas. There you go. Thank you, Interpeas, for dropping the link to her channel. I appreciate that. Sprinkled Donut wants to see it too. Love prime rib and potatoes and veggies. That sounds good. It does. But I already made breakfast this morning for my son. I do have to go in a little bit and make breakfast for the rest of the people in my house, but don't have to make my son breakfast. He got up all nice and bright and early at 5 a.m. this morning. Come walking downstairs, and he's just half awake, half asleep. And then he tells me, "I've had good dreams." And I'm like, "Good." And then he walked over to his chair, that he sits in. It's a big old comfy chair. Grabbed his book. This channel makes you hungry? Only 2 likes, guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Well, thank you, Sprinkled Donut. Let's see. Did I write that down? And I've got this is the analytics for my channel. I do this every 6 months. I do a printout for the analytics. 58.3% of all viewers of my content are female. 41.5 are male, and the other 0.2% don't answer, or YouTube does not know. 81.8% are English speaking, with the next largest is Spanish with 18.1, and then German, Portuguese, and several other languages, are 0.1 to 0.4%, in there. Not even whole percentages. You love the seasons, lights, and music. We used to have locally here, just Jules. We used to have a place where you used to be able to, get in your car at night and drive around and see all the lights, and and people would play music. Not in our neighborhood, but I mean, it was a town over. They used to have it was like good 4 blocks of different people who lived there, and they would put on holiday light displays, and they would play Christmas music, and you could drive around and look at it, or you could get out and just walk it. But a lot of that has gone to the wayside. A lot of it. I think there are probably maybe like a block worth of houses now that do it, and where it used to be like 4 blocks. So you're about 50-50 male. Yeah, well, uh, 58% female, 41% male. But I just find it interesting. But the reason why I do the analytic report, for every 6 months for my channel, is not to see, that hey, 73% of the people who are watching my content are still not subscribers. It's actually 73.5% of all viewers of my content are not subscribers. And of those 73.5% that are not subscribers that watch my content, 70% watch more than one video. It's not like, oh, I found it because it was suggested, he watched it, didn't like it, and never going to watch it again. No, they come back. They just don't bother subscribing. I don't know why. If I had the answer to it, I would do something about it. I'd fix it, I guess, whatever. But again, back to why do I print these out? It's more for my information. Plus, they come with this thing here. You can't see it. I know it's a really shitty copy, but these are called keynote focuses for like a press release of like who your channel is. So if you want to pitch them to an advertiser, like, hey, I want to do a brand deal or something like that along those lines, or sponsor my video, kind of thing. I mean, I don't do that, but I mean, eventually I may have to. Do they tell you what other videos your viewers watch? Yes. Oh yeah. Besides just like it breaks it down, live streams, shorts. On this one here, breaks it down. So of the ones who are not subscribed, it tells me exactly. Okay, they're watching trivia, and then those who are not subscribed, what do they watch next? 68.4% of those who are not subscribers who watch trivia will watch a full-length video. And of that full-length video that they clicked on and watch, they will watch 80% of that other video. Not subscribed, will watch and take part in trivia. They will 68.4% again will click on a full-length video and watch 80% of that. Does it tell me that they're what are they watching, just Josh Duggar videos? Are they it doesn't tell you that. I mean, but then it tells me what you all who are watching this right now, what are your interests besides just my content? And things that that are very high, they list them on a very high, moderate, and then low, so on a scale. Um, those who are watching are interested in bargain hunting or bargains. They're interested in nonfiction content, and they are interested currently right now in politics. Surprise, surprise. But then it goes into shopping interests and everything else. I mean, you can go down a rabbit hole of like of too much information. But I print it out for my information, and then I save it so I can actually see where am I gaining and where am I losing. Because this is the entire thing. There are people who were diehard, fans of mine that what people would call ride or die, channel members, who were here for probably about the first like 3-4 years, and they slowly slid away, and I guess I became boring to them. There are some, very few, but some. And then there are other people who just like they find my content. They're like, "Where the hell have you been all these years? Why have I never been suggested your content?" And I'm like, "Hey, glad you could be here with us, and I hope you stick around." Well, I've been subscribed to you for years, and always will be. Thank you, Gemma, and so will I to you as well. I think you are highly underrated as a creator. You are so thorough. Thank you very much, Sprinkled Donut. Inner Peas, check on Bargain Hunter. I do my thing, and that's all I can say. I'm not going to pat myself on the back and say that I'm the best or that I have, some kind of experience that is better than anybody else. Be real and factually document what you're talking about. That's all I can do. Do me, as I like to say it. Be me. Warm in Southeast Texas. You got your AC on today? Roller coaster weather? Yeah, I bet. That air conditioning. Well, it is still 31 degrees here. Don't think I'll be turning on the air conditioning anytime soon. Well, I think you're incredible. And by the way, I sent the donation to Adam. Good. He said he was subscribed. Well, good. Well, welcome, Adam. If in case you watch this stream later on, or if you're here now and not commenting, whichever. I mean, there's a lot of people who watch the live streams live who don't comment. They like especially for like trivia, who don't say anything at all. But it's okay. You don't have to. You can follow along, yourself. Inner Peas, they're having rain. We got fog right now. It says dense fog warning. That's what it says on the screen here. Watch true crime and dive videos and police interrogation and spooky stories. Ooh, spooky stories. Will, do you like Christmas movies? I'm on the fence. Well, it all depends on what you consider a Christmas story. Um, the original claymation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, yes, I like that one, and so does my son. He thinks it's very fascinating. The Christmas Story, with the mom and dad, and the the BB gun where the kid's going to shoot his eye out, that and the leg lamp in the front window. Yes, that is as a Christmas movie, I enjoy those. Do I consider Die Hard a Christmas movie? No. Yeah, it may have taken place around Christmas, Christmas party, and then the terrorists take over the tower. Do I consider it a Christmas movie? No. But I guess again, it all comes down to what you consider a Christmas movie. But yes, on overall, I mean the classics, you know, I enjoy those. I enjoy sitting with my son and watching them. About a week ago, we watched um, was it Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and there was another one with Thomas, not Thomas, but Daniel the Tiger Christmas movie. We watched both of those. Two of us just sat on the couch, cuddled up underneath the blanket. We ate popcorn while we watched it. Those little things like that. Can't go wrong there. Home Alone is the best. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm a Mr. Freeze. I love that one. Hmm. I'm not familiar with either one of those. Home Alone. Is that a Christmas movie? I mean, it happens during the holiday, so I guess it could be just like Die Hard. They both could consider Christmas movies. Christmas movies to me are, I don't know. I guess it's more sentimental. Oh, I'll give you there, Callie Lisa, Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton. Oh my gosh. I love the Bad Santa movie. Yes. But I don't think we can do a whole lot of quotes out of that. Good movie though. I think it's the one with Rudolph in it. Is it the claymation from? So that was Burl Ives who narrates it. That what's that 1950s, 40s when the movie was made. The original Rudolph. The Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol's a good one. I mean, would Miracle on 34th Street be considered a Christmas movie to others? I mean, I think it is, and I think the original black and white was a great movie. I mean, a lot of them have gotten remade over the years, and people get the wrong impression about the movie. Um, the Grinch is a good one. The Christmas Carol with Bill Murray, that's a good one. To each their own, though. Which version, Kirikou? There are so many. The Year Without a Santa Claus. That's 1974. Wow, that didn't know that. I know it was older, but in 1974. Well, certainly none of us were around in 1974. We were all born in 1985, right? I certainly wasn't around. Where was I? The Christmas Carol with Bill Murray. That's the one I like. Miracle on 34th Street is good. Yeah. Yeah. What's the one with the kid that? Oh man, Scrooge. Was that the original black and white one? No, that's not Scrooge. With little Timmy. The Gemma was born in 1988. After your mom passed away, I had to come up with some new traditions. Scrooged with Bill Murray. Yeah. Did I say Christmas Carol? I'm sorry. I said it earlier. Hopefully, I was right the first time. In 1974, I was at Elton John concert. Good evening, because 65. You were at the Elton John concert in 1974? 1974, I was still living in Wisconsin. Um, don't think I went to go see Elton John or anybody that anybody would remember. I think the first real concert that I went to that people would know would be my mom took me to Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think that was the first major artist that I went and saw. Or it could have been Can Heat too, but not a lot of people know who Can Heat is. The blues artist Can Heat. But I have seen so many concerts over the years. If I had to guess, I probably like mid 70s. I mean, somewhere in there. But I think me and my friend sat down one time. We figured it out in between 1980 and 1990. In that 10 years there, between 80 and 1990, I probably went to 200 concerts, at least 200 in that 10-year span. A lot, a lot. If I could scratch together the money, I'd go. Mine was Johnny Cash at an outdoor park. I would have loved to have seen Johnny Cash. Either do his country hits, or even his gospel. I would have loved to have seen Johnny Cash in concert. Never got a chance to. Well, cornbread stuffing is great Southern side dish. Yes, Francie, that's one of the dishes that we're making is cornbread stuffing. But people are different. Especially like Thanksgiving. So this is just an observation. I'll tell you guys about. So for Thanksgiving, we had the stuffing that was inside of the actual bird itself, inside the turkeys. That some people really liked that, and then there were ones that liked the stuffing that was made with the drippings. So you got turkey, the drippings that are left over. I put those into it and made gravy with the drippings, and then some of the juices and oils went into making additional stuffing. Because I mean, the stuffing that you can put inside of two birds is not enough to feed 20 plus people. So we had to make more, of it. And there are people who absolutely loved one versus the other, but they're like, yeah, that one has too much flavor, too much of a flavor of turkey to it, and they like the other one because they could taste more of the sage in it. And they were the same amount of the same ingredients were in both. The only difference is one was cooked inside of the bird and one was not. So we will do the same thing with cornbread stuffing as well, for Christmas dinner. In 1969, I was at Janis Joplin concert at Webley. You're only 10 years of age. And Lexi, I have no desire to be anyone else but me. I I tell people about this all the time. Some of the people that the reason why they will never show up at a VidCon, or one of these YouTube convention the things, is because the person that they are on this side of the camera is not the person that they are in real life. I've met some real winners and I've met some absolute zeros. They come off as personal and friendly and helpful on camera, but the moment the camera clicks off, they are backstabbing parasites. Yeah, there are a lot of those out there. Then there's the ones like me who this is who you are, who I am. This is what you get. But I would have loved Janis Joplin in 1969. You're 10 years of age. Jeez. That'd have been cool as hell to go to. See Janis Joplin. What was her band called back then? Janis Joplin band. It's not the New Edition. That was Kenny Rogers. Because Kenny Rogers, ladies and gentlemen, you don't believe it or not, started off singing rock and roll. He didn't switch to the country music until later on. Kenny Rogers in the 5th edition. And still love going to concerts. Just bought tickets to see Rod Stewart coming here next June. Cool. I saw Rod back in the 80s. That was the last time I saw Rod Stewart. I want to say probably like 85, 86, somewhere in there. When I saw Rod Stewart, it was like the mid 80s. It was right around the time that the whatever year the first Monster of Rock was, because I saw Rod Stewart at the Hubert H. Humphrey Dome in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, is where I saw Rod Stewart. And so where I also saw Monsters of Rock. But I know it was around that time. But I also saw AC/DC, the Scorpions, Quiet Riot, a whole lot more bands, play either at the Hubert H. Humphrey Dome or one of the convention centers around there in that area. The Replacements, you name it. The Holding Company. Thank you. I don't know why that didn't come to mind. The Holding Company. Janis Joplin and the Holding Company. That would have been great to see in concert. Wish I would have seen that one too. Zomic Blues Band, Janis Joplin's band. My aunt told my mom we were on an educational tour. She was a teacher, and mom said the train paid the train fare. Educational tour. There used to be a bar in downtown. Well, it wouldn't be downtown. It'd be in the suburb of Minneapolis that my mom used to take me to. Oh, this is a bar back in the 70s, but it was in a suburb of Minneapolis called White Bear Lake. And she used to take me to this bar all the time, and I would sit on the bar stool. I was just a little kid. I couldn't have been, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, somewhere in there. But whenever she wanted to go, listen to live music, my dad was so vastly different from my mom. My dad was, Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack kind of music. That's what he loved to listen to. And my mom was kind of like a flower child-ish, individual, free, thinker. Janis is a legend. Out of all the bands and all the artists that that have come and gone over the years, that I would have loved to have seen in concert, I would have loved to have seen Jim Croce. And I would have loved to have seen along that lines, but I'm trying to think of his name off the top of my head. I got a picture of him, but in my head, but I think of his song, but I can't remember his name. Bill Withers. Bill Withers. If you don't know who Bill Withers is, you've been living underneath a rock. But Bill Withers and Jim Croce are two artists I wish I could have seen in concert. I think Janis is also a member of the 27 Club. She could be Cali Lisa. She could be. Bill Withers wrote an awful lot of hits for other artists on top of his own hits. But if you ever want to look, figure out who Bill Withers is, look up Grandma's Hands on YouTube. Grandma's Hands. Grandma's Hand on YouTube, with plural or singular. But he wrote and sang the song "Stand by Me," one of his hits. Love music though. Music, it transcends generations. Music that my father listened to and his father listened to, I still enjoy to this day. And my son enjoys uh, some Sammy Davis Jr. and not so much Frank Sinatra, but he likes that kind of like that Croner kind of music. But at the same time, though, my son loves Rammstein, but it's got to be in German. He will not listen to Rammstein in English at all. Nope, not happening. But he's all over the place, and then at the same time, though, he likes Katy Perry, and um, and newer popular, bands like Fun and 21 Pilots. Tiny Tim, scene always made me cry. Tiny Tim, his little was it ukulele? Tiny Tim, tipping toes through the tulips. Tiny Tim. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that time of the day when I need to wrap up this morning's stream. I want to thank everyone again for being here. If you'll hit that thumbs up if you liked this content this morning. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Whichever you feel more inclined to do, thumbs up or thumbs down. But I want to thank everyone for coming and hanging out this morning. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night, Sunday night, we always do trivia. Tomorrow night is Suzanne Morphew. Suzanne Morphew is the content for tomorrow night's trivia. 20 multiple choice questions. They're all displayed on the screen. No login required. I don't know why anybody thinks you have to log in to play it, but I get that comment all the time. You don't have to log in. You can just follow along. You can play along if you want. On top of that, I also have a section at the end of after trivia where I shed a spotlight on people who are missing and endangered. These are people from across the United States who are missing. Nobody knows where they are or what happened to them, but you may have the piece that helps solve that in an actual case and brings closure for a family. Now, again, trivia tomorrow night, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 5 o'clock in the Mountain Time Zone and 7 o'clock on the East Coast. But I hope you'll stop in tomorrow. You can click on the thing. It's on my community tab, and set the reminder, or just take a post-it note and stick it next to the device you watch trivia on, or you'll watch it on, because it's every week at the same time. But in the meantime, everyone, thank you again for being here. And I hope that each and every one of you has a terrific day. And if I don't see you for trivia, I hope the rest of your week, just as great. Thank you. Bye.